Goblin Slayer time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Figma number 424. It's, as I said, Goblin Slayer. What, are you deaf? No, seriously. This has been long awaited, and honestly, this is a figure I wasn't gonna get before. But a lot of people have talked to me and I was like, oh, maybe you wanna get this figure. I was like, no, I don't know anything about the show. But then a lot of friends actually told me, like, the show is really good, you should watch it. Haven't watched the show, but I did read the manga, and the manga is amazing. I love it. So, of course, I got the Figma, and here we are. Overall look in detail, starting it off with the size as usual, 15, a little over 15 centimeters, 15 point, almost 23, to the top of his helmet, and then we got, that goes up to a little over 6 inches, 6 inches, 6.1 tall for this guy. He has a ton of dirt in the armor, and I like that, because it's always mentioned in the show or manga or whatever you're watching, that his armor looks rugged, that it looks dirty, that it looks like it has battle damage. This one doesn't have battle damage, but they definitely put a lot of blackwash on it to make it look dirty, and I appreciate that. But the only kind of trouble you have with that, on the figure at least, is that they only put that on the armor parts. Nothing else has this dirt effect. Now, that just looks weird. That's the main thing. It's not a huge complaint, but like, you look at all the dirt that goes on in the helmet, and you look at his shiny white neck piece. Yeah, doesn't that stand out a little bit weirdly? Also the red in the back. Overall, it's not the biggest complaint in terms of figures, it's just kind of wonky. Then we got more dirt in the chest plate, the shoulder pads as well, and also the dirt doesn't always go in the same direction. There's like some hair in the down part, and then up there it doesn't look exactly the same. So I like that, because that's always like a boring thing to just say, this shoulder plate looks exactly the same dirt as this one. That doesn't make any sense. Then we got more in the back, and all the belts that kind of go around to hold everything together, his little daggers, and whatever the hell he got under there. Anyway, then we got the arm pads, this side, both sides covered in it, and where were the paint slips? As far as paint goes, actually, this one's pretty clean. We have some slips, I've seen them before, but I can't even find them anymore. I guess that's a good part, that's a good thing. Then we got more armor, dirt, and then the knee pads don't have dirt. And it's not the same kind of shine to it as the armor, which is accurate. So, oh yeah, there's they made that on both sides. There's like the paint slip on this one, and you have the same paint slip on this one. So it's just like, what happened? Why? Oh yeah, there's also a little bit of paint bleeding, a little bit goes over the line. Nothing really to complain about. And more armor. And the final thing I want to say about the armor, I like the paint job on it itself, because it is shiny, but it's not like super metallic as we have on a lot of other figures, which once again makes sense because he's supposed to look dirty, rugged. His armor is not supposed to look like it's worth $1 million. Moving on to the articulation, it's a little bit problematic with the head. Because of this entire neck piece, it doesn't really go around. They should have made either the neck piece movable, put it on the ball joints in the back here, and you could move it back and forth, but as you can tell, you're not getting much out of it right now. What you can do is, I highly recommend just pulling out. He doesn't really have a neck anyway. He doesn't really look like he has a neck. You can pull the head out, and then you actually do get some motion. There's like a ball hinge that ends on another ball in the head, so you can really push it forward like that, push it to the back, and then you have also neck articulations. Overall, really push it out if you want some movement, but you don't have any if it's really like just pushed in, because there's no room. Ball hinge up here goes up and down, also has complete rotation. For the shoulder parts, I want to address actually the thing they did with the shoulder pads, the armor pads. They are connected on this piece over here. You can see how it rotates around. Just kind of rubbery material that holds onto it, so I would be careful not to break it off, but it does bend out of the way. And then you got the double ball combination, you got a big ball pack in the chest area. Well, actually that goes into another ball. It's a different ball combination. You have two big balls. But yeah, the ball hinge in the chest area, and then another one in the shoulder itself. So you can bring that around. Looks a little bit wonky, but you can cover it up nicely with the shoulder pads. So that's a little bit of bonus articulation. This is Figma taking making articulation better whenever they have the chance to hide it, and they kind of do that a lot. It's usually a lot standard, but sometimes they really bust out some new tech. So we also have a bicep swivel. This one's kind of stuck. Let me try this one. Doesn't really go all the way around because of the mold over here. You see how the shirt is kind of bent, but it does work. Simple ball hinge in the shoulder, ball hinge in the fist, back, forward rotation, chest articulation, has some wiggle motion, goes forward, goes to the back, goes side to side, also has some rotation to it. Same with the lower torso part. Let me combine these two. Goes forward quite a bit. It does have a back gap, but it doesn't. Front gap does appear, but really as he goes further and further. I'm not bothered by that. I'm still getting a lot out of it, so that's pretty good. Then the legs, move out to the side, move forward, move to the back. Crotch piece is soft plastic, and all the bags and whatnot doesn't really get in the way, as you can tell. It has some rotation on it. Simple ball hinge in the knee, and the foot is on another ball hinge. Go side to side, forward to the back, and he also has a toe hinge. There you go. And now coming to by far the worst part of the figure, the accessories. Not because the accessories are bad or anything, but because there's barely anything in there. Like, this is all. This is it. So, we got only 2 more sets of hands, kind of like an open hand to hold the weapon, the sword, and then a little bit of folded hand, to, I guess, to hold the shield. Because the shield has like these double straps. You can put it around his arm, but I think you can probably also a little bit hold it. But it's supposed to go around his arm. Moving on to the shield, it is dirty. It looks really messed up, so that's cool. You got the sword, nice gold with the dark blue handle. Focus, thank you very much. Also has some dirt effect on the blade itself. I feel like this one's kind of lazy. This one just goes like 2 stripes and 1 in the front. Yeah, I mean, at least it looks better than the Guts sword, right? Which they, by the way, they're gonna send out replacements. AmiYami themselves have sent me a message, and they were like, "You're gonna get a Guts sword replacement." So a lot of guys have, a lot of you guys already told me that, but for everybody who doesn't know, if you have a Guts sword that looks weird, you're gonna get a replacement, and that's your Figma Guts in this Goblin Slayer review. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. Moving on. But finally, he does have a club, and yeah, just the regular club. That's it. Doesn't have a torch, doesn't have a squall, he doesn't have like a bow, doesn't have a different face where the red eye, with the red flaming eye, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean, I'm gonna put up a picture or whatever. You know the thing. And I looked at the Nendoroid. The Nendoroid has all these things, just the Figma doesn't. So he got also the Figma base and the Figma bag, and that's it. That's all the accessories for your Goblin Slayer. Weak. So that's gonna do it. That's gonna bring me to the final thoughts of this Goblin Slayer figure. What do I think about this guy? I mean, the figure looks amazing, and the only thing I have to say about the figure itself is like the dirty effect. Very nicely done on the armor. Kind of weird that it lacks on everything else, but okay. I'll still take that. Maybe he washes his clothes, but you know he doesn't really wash the armor because it's just there to protect it. I'll take that, but the accessories, or the lack thereof, that is really the thing that caught me by surprise, because Figma is usually doing a lot of accessories. They're really strong in bringing you the most and the wonkiest accessories which you wouldn't even expect. And then with Goblin Slayer we have all these ideas, all these options: bow, torch, scroll, the thinking hand basically, which is a meme. And where is that? So honestly, if you're really into accessories, this figure is not really for you. I'd say get the Nendoroid. Again, the Nendoroid has all that stuff. I've seen the Nendoroid, and I don't want the Nendoroid because that's not really something I'm into, at least for this guy, for this character. But yeah, I mean, figure recommended, accessories though really disappointing. So it's just, I don't know. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever the Goblin Slayer wants. Let me get into position and zoom in. Dramatic zoom in.